about to be too far away to be able to catch up with what's happening on this show. How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach. We are reviewing Put a Ring on, if you want to put a ring on it, season 1, episode number 8, Catching Feelings. If it's your first time visiting my channel, click the subscribe button, become a Ray of Sunshine, click the notification bell, and be alerted of my videos when I upload them. Yes? Yes. So we pick up where we left off just a few moments ago, because if you just came off of my 6 and 7, you know where we are. And I kind of just breezed through the 2 of those without a whole lot of extra commentary because I wanted to get here. I did. Honey, so Shay has decided she is going to let Mike experience the entire process. Feel those feelings, whatever. I can't think of what this word in between that song, but anyway, she gonna let him do it. She gonna drop the boundaries. I mean, because honestly, it was mentioned that it's a double standard. You got him, you know, bicep curling you, squatting you, or whatever he was doing, and he can't even hold her hand, can't touch her hair, can't hug her, can't nothing. Yeah, it ain't cool. But I really feel like Shay is strategic. Also mentions, listen, I'm gonna drop the boundaries, but he knows that if he does something out of bounds, that there are consequences. For every action, there is a reaction. For every cause, there is an effect. Hollywood decides that he's gonna go on a second date with Shantae. After listening, you know, and getting upset about Ashley going out with Kwame, he says, you know what, I really need to just experience this and really go with the flow and see what's up. Ashley says she wants to go out with Kwame again. And though I am liking Hollywood more, he still is very volatile in his responses of like, what the fuck? It's like you dating now. Like, you know, like, leave me alone. Like, call it quits. This is like 7 and 8 together. But nevertheless, like, what we doing? You want to keep dating this dude? That ain't what we doing. And Dr. Nicole says, let's try setting new boundaries, right? Be responsible for yourself, not for what your partner does. Just for how you're enjoying the process or interacting in the process. So Tamika says, yes, she wants to go on another date. Shay, yes, she wants to go on a date. But it looks like Mike is a little bit uneasy by it, because she wants to explore it deeper, see if they get a deeper connection. Mike says yes, because now the boundaries are listed. I definitely want to see Whitney again. It's almost like they go together. Vince is like, no, I don't want to. And what's funny is Hollywood and Vince are very much so unnerved at the fact that Mike is going out with Shay again. Mike is going out with Whitney again. They're on the edge of their seat because they know we are on date number 5. And on date number 5, possibilities, things could happen. Like, I've been seeing you a lot, but what we have to realize, they ain't held no hands, ain't touched no fingers, ain't did none of that, because you know that would have all been caught on film, right? Okay, let's start with Hollywood and Ashley. So Hollywood goes out with Shantae again, and they go-kart riding. They having a good time. He's enjoying her company like she's like a friend. Because I say that because when we get to the sit down and the talk, and Shantae asks a very important key question. If you and your girl don't work out, where does that leave us? Very key question, because he says, listen, if I don't work out, I'm not gonna be in a relationship again. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna be out here and be a hoe. I'm gonna date and be sucking and fucking on stuff. Like, that's not what he said, but that's what he said. He said it won't be anytime soon. And listen, it's good for her to know so that she does not get vested in him. And if they asked her to go out with him again, she could say no. Shantae was like, you know what, a huge red flag. I get why he would be that way, but in the same breath, I'm not gonna put myself through that situation. I mean, coming off of 9 years, you need time. You shouldn't be just jumping into something else. You should just be dating and having a good time. So I'm all for him being honest. Like, that's the one thing you have to give Hollywood, if you don't give him nothing else, is the fact that he is honest and he takes accountability and ownership for how he feels and the things that he wants. He talks about his needs and desires and does not mince words. Has no problem with saying, listen, I'm not going to want to be in another relationship. I want to have a funky good time. Listen to me. I'm going to have a party. Y'all know that song? I definitely be aging myself. I like all kind of music though, so there's that. We see Kwame and Ashley together, and I wrote down she really likes him and is really connecting, like to the point where, you know how when you sitting across somebody and you like them, you saw it, and you be like, damn, why you staring at me like that? Like, oh, I'm feeling something, like you looking into my soul, like you could see that I want you, and I want you to want me to, like, she likes him. And the fact of the matter is, he's all like, I like you. I don't give a fuck about your boyfriend. Ain't that the song, y'all? Listen, I've been recording for a few minutes. Y'all gotta give me a little silly right now. And he understands her situation, but he doesn't care. Like, I still want to date you. I still want to see you. He might be a good candidate for an open relationship. However, not Hollywood. Hollywood would not be okay with it. So there's that. This whole conversation we can have on another time. But listen, I like you. I don't give a fuck about your boyfriend. Let's talk Vincent Tamika. The only person that goes out on a date is Tamika, and she likes his energy. She likes him. They kind of actually match more to me when we look aesthetically than Vince and Tamika, and that's just my opinion. And it is seeming like he's bringing something else out of her. It does seem like she's a lot more lighthearted, that she's open. We find out that she's a creative, like she belly dances. He encourages her to show her art. Like, yeah, who gives a fuck if nobody likes it? It's yours, and it's your interpretation. Like, you need sometimes somebody to help you get out of that shell. You can tell that she is very much shy and somewhat of an introvert, and so he's a little more outgoing, and he might give her a little push. I like the two of them together. She says it's like I have a blank slate and it's refreshing. Let's talk Mike and Shay, shall we? So we see Shay and Rick, and they are on date number 3, and honestly, I really felt like all she kept doing was going out with Rick because he kept going out with Shay. And I'm not finna let you get under my skin, but I kind of do like him a little bit. In real life, I probably wouldn't have went out with him but one time, but because you want to go out with Whitney so much, there's that. And you see, Whitney didn't come to their house, honey. Whitney wasn't with that shit like the rest of the people. Anyway, I'm getting beside myself. They go to like a little lounge and they have some drinks, and she mentions that she lifted the boundaries, and he asked, what are those boundaries? And he was like, you know, 2 hand holding hands, hugging, kissing, you know, those have been lifted. I wrote down, she's low-key childish, because he was like, oh, so that means I can get a kiss on the cheek, or I can get, and she was like, no, I'm gonna wait and see what he does. Why are you waiting to see what he does instead of just doing what you want to do? Because honestly, you might be attracted to him, but you don't really want to, you really don't want to cross that boundary, because you know that that will change the dynamic of the relationship that you have with Mike. Don't be tit for tat. Just say, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do any of that. I'm just gonna sit here and flirt and drink my drink and look at you and feel this good energy we got going. Rick asked her when she said, you know, I'm just trying to wait to see what he does. He was like, well, what are we doing? And it wasn't, what are we doing, like wait and see, like if you're waiting to see what he does, then why are you here? That's how I interpreted what he said, not how she interpreted. She says, I just want to connect and just enjoy the process. I was like, oh, okay. So let's talk Whitney and Mike. They also go on a lounge type date. She walks in as per usual, looks great. She compliments him, he compliments her, but this time, let me take a look at you and twirl you around, because I'm thinking, oh, he's about to cross the line. He's about to cross the line. That's what I thought. So then they sit down and they have a conversation, and he tells her, you know what, Shay lifted the boundaries. And you know, you can see Whitney is like, oh, okay, like this is good news. Like, yes. But although the boundaries are lifted, what I realize is that I want to really give my relationship a shot. And if I sit in this and cross the line with you, then that changes the dynamic of my relationship. And so I don't want to do that. And I think it's best that we stop here. I said, this nigga done called it off. He called it off. I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Shay is really getting under his skin. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I also was like, in this moment, I was like, yeah, but has she changed her views on your son? Like, literally. Wish y'all could see my handwriting. But I wrote, you calling it off. What about your son? Has she changed her views on your son? And then in that next little segment, Dr. Nicole goes to visit their house. I was like, she goes to have a conversation with Shay by herself. And pretty much said, like, yo, what's your issue with the son? You've been around for 6 years. What's the problem? Do you think that you can love the son? Why haven't you tried to have a relationship with the son? And, you know, she said at one point something about, well, you know, Zion, he really don't care either. And she had to say, but you know, he's a child. So I'm the one that has to make the effort. Because he's indifferent about it, I have to be the one to make the effort. And ultimately what came out of that is the fact that she is going to, you know, accept his son. Coming and, you know, learning to love him and be a bonus mom for little Zion. But this is what I wrote. I literally wrote, listen, okay, you're trying something different. I commend you. I'm so glad that you are thinking of your entire relationship and trying, but baby, don't resent him later because of the decision that you made. Don't resent him because you're like, I'm going to try and do this whole accepting of Zion, and then you realize you don't like it. Don't get mad at him about it, okay? Be mad at yourself. Because what I know for sure is that we have to stick to the things that work best for us. Get the love we desire. And if my love does not include you and your damn children, I don't want to do it. But I ain't going to waste your time either for no couple years and be with you either. If it don't fit and it ain't in alignment, I'm going to walk away. I say all that to say I'm glad that she's stepping out of the box, stepping out of her comfort zone, and is going to include Zion or accept Zion as part of her life, her future with Mike. But I don't want her to later resent him because it's not really what she wanted to do, and she was just doing it so that she could have the dad. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We see a girls' night, okay? And they start talking about dates, but it's more Ashley talking about Kwame more than anything else, and the attraction that she has to him, and that it's just easy what she likes, and it's a little scary. Shay talks about how her and Mike, their sexual attraction or sexual energy has increased before dates, after the dates. That her being interested in Rick has really made Mike step his game up so that she could remember why she chose him, and it is exactly what she wanted, the communication and the more intimacy and connection. Okay, so Shay winning as far as she's concerned, and if she really is for accepting Zion, then great. But I'm still a little skeptical, and I'm still waiting to see how that conversation like kind of plays out next week. But I'm going to give it to Shay, asking the question that I want to know, that you want to know, that we all want to know, honey, is, you know, as she asked Tamika, like, hey, so you're always talking about what happened 2 years ago. Was there anything between 2 years and now? Like, because if it wasn't, then what are we doing? And why are you doing that, right? good question, because I'm all like, 2 years ago is a long time to be harboring and not to have healed, and you should have walked away. And what we found out was that a year ago, somebody was coming out the apartment, that a year ago that there were conversations being had via text messages, and that there was shit that just kept fueling the fire of her insecurities. So now it makes more sense. And honestly, little sis, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. If he's really doing something and you're allowing this, allowing might not be the word, accepting this behavior, he is going to continue to do it, because you have not walked away. You didn't say you could just go walk on. You didn't say none of that. What you said was, I'm okay with this treatment. The longer you stay and the longer you accept it, I'm okay with this treatment. And when the treatment, so it happened when y'all first got together. When it happened a year later was when you were supposed to bow out gracefully, so that he could see that you wasn't with the shit. I'm not with this bullshit. You're not gonna be playing with me like that. Like, if that's not the relationship you want, I'm just saying, you get to define what you want in a relationship, ladies. We don't just allow them to do whatever and be whatever. It is a collective, collaborative effort. And if we aren't in alignment, why am I still here? Hello? Do what works for you, not for somebody else, not just because it works for him. And you like, the way he put it down, like somebody else is gonna put it down too. Okay, so now we're in our group session, and we're gonna talk about the dates and how they went and how we feel and all that good gushy shit. I was proud of Shay when she said that she realized on the date with Rick that she is looking for a lot from one person. She's looking for Mike to fulfill all these things and to check all these boxes from one person, and it might be a lot. He also admitted that he's feeling a little insecure about, her going out and dating Rick and liking Rick, which of course is him expressing himself, and is something that he wanted. I forgot to mention was it episode 6 that she kind of dismissed him? Well, nobody cares. Nobody cares when she wanted to go out with him again. Nobody cares. I don't like nobody dismissing me either. Okay, nobody cares. What did you say? Like, I forgot all about that. I ain't like it. And it just hit me right now. So then Mike says, listen, I went on a date with Whitney and I've decided to end it. That we are going to be friends because I'm all in with Shay. I want to be with Shay. That had to feel great for her. That that he chose her. Like, that's what you wanted. You was feeling some kind of way because he kept going and going and going and going and going with Whitney. And what he understood was, during with the past and the route that he was taking, that he was splitting himself up and doing a disservice. And in order to concentrate, I wanted to be all in with Shay. And homegirl was like, what, I learned that I could be a little selfish. And the clouds opened up and the Lord spoke and said, well done. Like, because she didn't see it. She swore up and down that she had said it before, but she really truly did not see it up until now. And she has made some growth. And though I still don't like her voice and I still don't like her face, I do like her attitude. It's starting to change. It's starting to progress into something better. Like, she's starting to see more of her. She's now starting to do more self-reflective work and realizing that it's not beneficial to be selfish, especially if I call myself loving you and want to be with you for forever. Holly was saying, yo, listen, I'm not opening up. I'm not opening up because I want to be with Ashley. That's pretty much it. I don't care. I can't open up and accept this process because I want to be with Ashley. I don't want to be with nobody else but Ashley. Well, after all of that, Ashley was very matter of fact about her time she spent with Kwame, that she likes him, and that's it. She has a great time with him, and he does something to her, and it feels, the flirting and the chemistry and all that feels really good. And he made a really great point, and he said that this is new. It all feels like when it's new. You don't know nothing about this man. You don't know what it's going to look like 9 years from now. But you know what I do. You know who I am. I'm this person. I wrote down, he definitely really loves hard. And when they walk away, he is definitely not going to be the same. He's going to have to do some serious healing work. Hopefully, he's going to be open to some therapy because he's going to need it. Because if he ever decides that he wants to get serious again, it might be hard for the woman. So when Tamika starts talking about her date with Devin, she said she feels free and open with Devin. And it's easy, and it, you know, she doesn't feel like she's walking on eggshells or has to be careful. And that she's in a good place. Now, Vincent said something about if it has to do with a woman, she's going to be irritated. I don't care what she tells y'all, that's just what it is. And then she threw up. Told us exactly what was up and why. And revealed, you know, that that it's more about how he lies. And if you know, how she came home from traveling and went to his house and he was like, you showed up unannounced. Hold up, swole up. I showed up unannounced. I'm your girl. You wasn't answering because your phone be dying. And that alone, you showed up unannounced, is a response of someone who's doing something that that their spouse would not approve of. And if it was and he said it was his roommate's girl or whatever, and if it was, why are you walking her to the elevator? And he's all like, did nothing happen? Oh, so now you're admitting that that was your friend. Like, all the lies is just opening up wounds for her, and he needs to be honest about the shit that he has done, especially if he thinks that he wants to continue with Tamika. He needs to open up his mouth and tell the truth and put it all out on the table and let the chips fall where they may, because it's doing her a disservice. It's doing him a disservice. You want to move forward, but you can't be honest about the shit that you doing. I made a mistake in my past. Yes, this is what I said. Yes, this is what I did. But here is where I am now, and I'm hoping that we can heal and move forward. Is an easy fucking conversation. Well, it might not be easy, because the hard part is leaning into your own shit, being accountable, taking ownership. Like, that's the hard part of self-work, shadow work. You got to lean into that shit. It's uncomfortable to face yourself and your truth. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this episode down below in the comments. And do you think that these couples are staying together? Okay, y'all, okay, so that covers it, right? Y'all let me know what you think down below about this episode. How do you feel about the direction that these couples are going? Do you think Mike and Shay are going to make it? I'm kind of looking forward to next week's episode, because now that she's accepting Zion, he still ain't talking marriage. Does that change her view, her perspective? Her, you know, does that make her say, okay, well, I don't want to be here anyway. If you ain't finna marry me, then we good. If you didn't get married in a year, then I'm out. Like, I want to know if that changes her perspective. I want to know, is Hollywood gonna really start opening up? And is Ashley going out on another date with Kwame? I think she is. We saw that little pineapple thing they had happening. We saw that, didn't we see that? Was that a piece of this episode they didn't show us? And then you got poor Tamika and Vince. Like, what's she gonna do? I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Put a Ring on It, season 1, episode number 8. Again, if it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. Click that notification bell so you can see when I finally upload this stuff. But now that we're all caught up, I can get back on track. So episode 9 will be, you know, on that same weekend, right? Lastly, share this with your friends. Like it. Give it a thumbs up. Tell the algorithms that you like me, right? Tell them I like her. By leaving a comment, by sharing this, by thumbs up, giving it a thumbs up. That's how YouTube knows to keep promoting me. Yes, because think about how you met me. I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.